All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in today. We are so excited today to be speaking with Mark, Matt, and Juliet from ElevenLabs on the future of AI audio and video. We are live today in the HeyGen community, and you can also stream this session live on YouTube. Any questions you have, please place them in the community chat, and we will be monitoring it throughout the session. We will also be saving time at the end for a Q&A. So to kick things off, I will hand it over to Matt and team to tell us a little bit about who ElevenLabs is and give us an overview of some of their latest innovations.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Emily, and huge thank you to the HeyGen team. Awesome partners to us at ElevenLabs, and we're just so excited to be able to partner with you on this today. Just a quick introduction from our side. So my name is Matt Alegria. I lead our success team here in North America, and I would love for Juliet and Mark to introduce themselves as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Juliet. It's such a pleasure to be here. I lead music here at ElevenLabs, so doing everything from kind of early data partnerships all the way now through some revenue partnerships and working with the product team to make sure that you'll have the proper features to help you create music.
Awesome. And my name is Mark. I'm an audio engineer here leading our voice operations, where I help manage our voice library and make sure we have all the good voices spanning across different use cases, languages, accents, styles, and all that jazz. So excited to be here.
Awesome. And you two are definitely the stars of the show today. So what we're going to be going through is I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction and background to ElevenLabs, and then I'm going to hand it off to Mark, and he's going to be really digging into our newest model release, which is V3, and going into all the cool tips and tricks and capabilities of that model for the community here. And then Juliet's going to take over and take us through our recent music model release and all the different capabilities that are in there. Before we jump into it, though, I would love to just see in the chat, we can get that going. What are some of the ways that folks are using AI audio in their personal lives or in their business today, whether that's engaging with agents, leveraging music models, doing text-to-speech, transcription, anything like that? It would be awesome to hear from you all, just what's being used for you today. And some nice hellos from people. Any use cases folks would call out? Awesome. Creating learning. Yep. Ed tech. Great use case. Podcasts. Love it. Social media videos, audiobooks. Awesome. Yep. Some translation in there. Learning and development, lectures. Killer. Avatars. A lot of stuff. Okay, cool. I love it. We've got a super informed group. This is going to be a lot of fun. We definitely encourage you to continue to use the chat. As Emily mentioned, we're going to be taking more Q&A at the end, and there's going to be some additional opportunities for participation as we're going through this. So we want to make this, lively and exciting and respond to things that are top of mind for you all. So thanks again for taking the time to join. Without further ado, just as a quick introduction point, super excited to be here. And, we have, between Mark, Juliet, and I, and the ElevenLabs team, I think one of the most awesome jobs in the world, working with companies like all of you who are here today, and individuals who are helping define what the future sounds like. We have some amazing partners, and we're super lucky to be backed by some of the most innovative venture capital and companies in the world. And we're super excited about the future of AI audio. I'm going to be talking about all the different research categories that we're involved in today, as well as some of the exciting things that are coming up for us as well. Before I really dig into that, though, just a little bit of background. ElevenLabs as an awesome origin story. Couple high school buddies, Maddie and Piotr, who got some awesome early career experience and education separately, but came back together to solve a problem that was extremely personal to them growing up in Poland. And I'm going to give you a little taste of this in a second. all of the movies that are in English and then dubbed into Polish were done by, oftentimes an individual, what they would call a Polish lector. And from a creative perspective, the ability for people to engage with that, to really appreciate and understand the creativity that's being brought through in those movies, a lot of that was lost. And so they were inspired to start ElevenLabs to help solve that problem and be based in research, so that we're not just solving the kind of like translation and dubbing problem, but we're also building all the different core functions that are around audio and AI audio to bring those things together in a collaborative way that can help really drive amazing outcomes for individuals and businesses. So just a quick example, in case you're thinking, how bad could it be, right? Coming up and watching that, here's a little taste of what one of those movies would have sounded like.
Przepraszam.
It's fine.
To nic.
There's always a
Przysięgli
pause when the
muszą
jury
zrobić
does that to
przerwę,
consider
nim
their
ogłoszą
verdict.
werdykt.
Anna, look,
Posłuchaj,
I'm a fairly level-headed bloke.
jestem w miarę zrównoważonym facetem.
Not often,
Niezbyt często zakochuję się i odkochuję.
but
I think you get the point. Not the best experience in terms of the meaning trying to be expressed, the creativity, the prosody, the intonation, the delivery, right? Imagine that scene of, Gandalf standing in giving a "you shall not pass," but just monotone and, indirect, gonna detract a little bit from the experience and also make it less engaging, less interesting for people. To now the world that we're in today, and ElevenLabs is helping to support.
Przepraszam.
Just a quick example for you here.
Where can Verstappen try and get past Hamilton? Vollmöglichkeit liegt normalerweise in der 10. Turn 5 ist Verstappen. Weit genug zurück. Wird sich nach innen stürzen. Hamilton sieht es. Le voit arriver. C'est une plongée tardive de Verstappen qui prend la tête de la course. Verstappen coupe maintenant le trophée du championnat. जो वापस लड़ने की कोशिश कर रहा है. Where can Verstappen?
And I'm not sure for those F1 fans out there, but spoiler alert, there was a robbery and Verstappen ended up winning the championship. So as you can see from just like a translation and dubbing perspective, there's been an amazing development across the board in that area. And currently today, ElevenLabs supports that kind of dubbing into 30 plus languages, with certainly more on the way. And I just wanted to take a minute here and highlight some of the other categories that we're currently operating in, and some of the ones in particular that we partner with HeyGen on. Has been an awesome partner and customer of ours for several years now, but also to give the broader community here some ideas of ways that you could be using AI audio that you might not be using it today, whether it's in those education technology use cases we were hearing earlier, learning and development, more creative pursuits, audiobooks, and video generation and development of translation capabilities, or with agents, right? There's all these amazing conversational opportunities to make all of our experiences more engaging. Instead of having to have the modality of typing or waiting on hold when you call your service provider, there's so much opportunity for us to use the power of research and AI audio to develop these things. So just to cover off on a couple of these core ones, a couple of them you're going to hear today more about from Mark and Juliet. First is the text-to-speech platform and 11 V3. We're going to pivot into that in a second. That's something that we work with HeyGen on, and they use to power their amazing avatar tools. For those of you who maybe are just starting to test out HeyGen, or I'm sure there's some incredible power users here, incredible platform. They do some amazing stuff, and we're super proud to be partnering on the use cases that we have here. Speech to speech. So, this is an amazing capability where you can use a voice and use text and then bring those things together so that the voice that you put into the model sounds different on the way out. So amazing applications there for all sorts of different pursuits. AI dubbing, that's what we saw in those previous videos where you have translation capabilities at scale. Voice cloning is the kind of underlying factor in a lot of these things, where you can take existing voices, clone them, and have them sound hyper realistic, accurate to the person who's doing them. sound effects and voice isolator, also some amazing capabilities for generation of different sounds, as well as isolation of voice from background noise, super applicable for agents, as well as cleaning up of audio when using in any kind of creative pursuits for developing video or music videos, things like that. And then agents or conversational AI, amazing opportunity here. As I was mentioning earlier, we're investing a lot here, and certainly HeyGen's a great partner in this way, where we're seeing a lot of conversational experiences start to come out of avatars as well, which is really cool. Transcription, and then finally 11 Music, which we're super excited to get into more today. We have the first fully licensable and commercial model that's available in the market through API, and we've seen incredible uptake from our customer base so far, and a lot more to come on that. So that's my wrap up. We're super excited to be here again, and thanks all for joining. Excited for us to dig in a little bit more to V3 and then into the music platform. So Mark, with that, over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. I just want to make sure it's my slide now taken over. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so at a high level, V3 is our new text-to-speech model. I get giddy talking about it because it's a little bit of context. It's been released back in June is when we pushed it. And so I've had a lot of time to play with it. And it's just, even today, I get blown away with just how natural and realistic it sounds. And that's the name of the game with V3. So we've had other models. This new one just really takes it to the next level with regard to like prosody and human speech. There's just subtle nuances of the human voice, whether you're stammering, sighing, whispering, and these things just all sound very, very natural in this new model. So a couple quick things to highlight here. The first is like audio tags. So you can now direct the voice in a way by putting brackets before a sentence or phrase, and then it will kind of adopt those cues. So if you want it to sound more emotional, you can put emotional. If you want it to laugh, if you want it to cry, whisper, sigh. And it doesn't just do it in a boxy way where you say laughs and then some text. It kind of blends it into the speech, which is how we would naturally talk. We'll talk about that in the demo. There's now a thing called dialogue mode where you can, in one shot, have multiple different voices. So you don't have to choose one voice, generate some text, download, select a new voice, generate. It's a long, painstaking process. And dialogue mode is just able to do that in one shot. And then, of course, we have upped the language support. So our previous models supported up to 32 languages. Now we support up to 70 languages. And as a quick appetizer here, I wanted to showcase a little bit of what it can do.
Hey Jessica, have you tried the new 11 V3?
I just got it. The clarity is amazing. I can actually do whispers now, like this.
Ooh, fancy. Check this out. I can do full Shakespeare now. To be or not to be, that is the question.
Nice. Though I'm more excited about the laugh upgrade. Listen to this.
That's so much better than our old ha 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 robot chuckle.
I know, right? And apparently we can do accents now too. Fancy a cup of tea?
Wow, V2 me could never. I'm actually excited to have conversations now instead of just talking at people.
We're off under the lights here for this semi-final clash. The stadium buzzing with anticipation. ElevenLabs united in their iconic black and white shirts, pushing forward with intent straight from the opening whistle. Driving down the wing, pace to burn, he skips past one, skips past two. Oh, this is beautiful. One-on-one with the fullback, cuts inside. Oh, that's a lovely bit of footwork. And goal! Oh my goodness, they've done it again!
Arr! The open ocean! Smell that, lads? That's the scent of freedom! And just a hint of mutiny. Now grab your cutlasses, stow your fear! Tonight we dine like kings! Or we sink like legends!
Oh wow, is this me? Am I actually talking? This is incredible. I mean, I've had thoughts, millions of them, swirling around in here, you know, like a little mental tornado of brilliant observations and witty comebacks, but they were always just thoughts, trapped.
Okay, this is happening. I mean, I'm actually going to the future. Like the future. I've calibrated the temporal displacement unit, checked the flux capacitor. Well, not a flux capacitor, but you get it. Everything's a go.
Hey, Chris. Knock, knock.
I'm not doing this again.
Come on, Matt. Please. I promise you'll love this one.
Nope. No. Never again. The last 10 weren't funny. The next 10 won't be funny. You're not funny. And you never will be.
How many ElevenLabs engineers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Oh my God. I'm going home.
Okay, so I finally beat level 42 of that game I said I'd quit a month ago. And then for the final big scary mega boss, it's just some cute little bunny rabbit. I just couldn't do it. It was so cute.
Check this out. In just a sec, I'm going to speak with a different accent. And just between you and me, I don't really know how. But okay. First, let's change it up so that I can fit in with the locals in Melbourne when I visit next month. Whoa, yeah, man, this is sick. Okay, let's try a different one, see if you can guess. My love is like a red rose.
Awesome. I have to say that I'm a little bit jealous. Let me stop that. A little bit jealous of that last bit because that was my voice, and I can't do a French accent as well as the V3 can, so I always have trouble with those R's. And there was a question in chat, I believe, that can anyone clone their voice and do this? Yeah, those are all voices that were cloned. And so I wanted to highlight quickly two comparisons use case. I don't want to spend too much time here because I want to actually demo it, but so often does it come up where customers are looking for truly realistic conversations, especially for agentic use cases. There's a big difference between having a voice that sounds good, the tonality is great, and then truly crossing the next level to being indistinguishable from a human. And I just feel like, again, those subtleties are picked up in V3 more so than previous models. So a quick side-by-side comparison between our Flash model, which is a low latency model, and then our V3 Alpha model. And I just want you to pay attention to some of the again, same voice, same prompt, everything, but pay attention to some of those outputs here. Okay.
Hey, thanks for calling in. What can I help you with today?
I'm trying to renew my insurance claim, but when I started the renewal online and then, I got to the last step, it prompted me to call you guys.
Okay, gotcha. And do you have the claim number on you by chance?
Yeah, so it's 6409249.
Perfect. Okay, just one sec.
Sure.
Okay. So, yeah, it looks like we'll just need to, we'll just need to go over each one of your policies to double check the amounts you'd like to be covered for.
Oh, wow. I spent so much time going through it the last time. Do we have to go through the whole thing over again?
No worries. We actually have it saved from last time, so we don't need to redo that.
Cool. So I think she sounds good, but it's slightly performative. But again, I think the tone of the voice sounds great. But now go ahead and listen to the V3 version.
Hey, thanks for calling in. What can I help you with today?
I'm trying to renew my insurance claim, but when I started the renewal online and then, I got to the last step, it prompted me to call you guys.
Okay, gotcha. And do you have the claim number on you by chance?
Yeah, so it's 6409249.
Perfect. Okay, just one sec.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like we'll just need to, we'll just need to go over each one of your policies to double check the amounts you'd like to be covered for.
Oh, wow. I spent so much time going through it the last time. Do we have to go through the whole thing over again?
No worries. We actually have it saved from last time, so we don't need to redo that.
Yeah, to my ears, it's just night and day difference. The way she kind of elongates certain phrases, it's just much more realistic. And one more quick one, I'd be remiss if I didn't show a totally different context where we have character voices in video games and things like that. This might be a little bit loud at the beginning.
You all just have no idea how cunning I am. I can pickpocket like you wouldn't believe. I can run faster than Forrest Gump. I can sail further than Magellan. Oh, it takes a lot to be me, you know.
That's just another one where it just baffles me how good it could be. Okay, let's actually test some of this in the product. I'm going to share this one now. And so quickly looking at the interface here, so I'm going to close out all of this and start with something new. This is what it will look like. You have just one speaker to start with. You can choose the voice. You can choose the model. Again, we want to choose V3. Once you choose V3, if you go to the voices dropdown, we actually have a curated list of voices that we know work well with V3. One of the important things about V3 is it's good to choose a voice that's very dynamic in its emotional, in its emotional content. So voices that maybe have in its recording data like laughing, sighing, maybe some neutral, the more the merrier. And so we found that this curation of voices work really, really well, but there's just a whole host of voices that you can clone your own voice and do it that way. But yeah, we're gonna choose, let's see, we're gonna start with Jessica. We're gonna add a couple of speakers as well to show the dialogue. And I have a couple of things I wanna try, and then we can test things out in chat if people have ideas of what they want to try. So this is one I want to do. I'm going to switch this voice to this, and let's generate this. And quickly before I do, there's only one setting, which is a stability slider. It's set on natural by default, which is a good balance between expressiveness but stability. If you're trying a crazy prompt and you want to get it to like sing or something, not to upstage our music model, but you can get it to sing and change its accent, I would suggest choosing the creative stability. But let's just put it on natural for now and see what we get. We're going to generate, and it's going to give us two different options, and we can kind of A/B it.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe we're doing this.
I know, right? But do we really need to do this together?
Oh, come on. This is amazing, and I want to share the excitement with you.
Perfect. And then I'm going to add a speaker again. I'm going to try a different line, like something like, let's maybe get me a cough, and we'll say something like, oh, geez, I think I swallowed a bug. Something like that. And then we'll cough again. One little tip too is right now the model is it kind of clips off the end of phrases. We're working on that. So what you can do as a quick fix is at the very, very end of your generation, you can put a pauses tag, and that should mitigate that. So let's give this one a try again. This should be fun.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe we're doing this.
I know, right? But do we really need to do this together?
Oh, come on. This is amazing, and I want to share the excitement with you.
Oh, geez. I think I swallowed a bug.
It's so great. And like I said, I love how it blends in the audio tags with the speech, because that's what sounds more natural. And then what I love about dialogue mode is that you can quickly swap in a different voice. So like this is a really cool voice. It's kind of like a cartoony voice. So I'm gonna put her in here, and then let's have her yawn actually instead of cough. And we'll just keep it coughing, then maybe we'll switch it up.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe we're doing this.
I know, right? But do we really need to do this together?
Oh, come on. This is amazing, and I want to share the excitement with you.
Oh, geez. I think I swallowed a bug.
Yeah, perfect. And then if you wanted to listen to it, there's a second generation, and it's always going to have a different performance. I think sometimes with previous models, the same generation with the same text and prompt can, obviously you have variation, but you're going to get a lot more variation with the V3 model. I wanted to try one more thing with this kind of text prompt. I want to go back to this voice, and I want to see if it can change its accent, because that's always a fun one for me. We're just going to do this one, and we're going to try, let's try an Australian accent and see how well it does. Just one more shot.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe we're doing this.
I know, right? But do we really need to do this
together?
Oh, come on. This is amazing, and I want
I'll
to...
stop it right there. It's way better than I could do. I would butcher that kind of accent. I want to do switch gears and maybe do a character voice, and then I'll try to pause and see if there's any suggestions in chat of if anybody has ideas of what to try. So I love this character. It responds to text really, really well. And I have a prompt here. Let's see what we got. So we have some sighs, we have some laughing, and these are kind of more subtle tags as well, like mutters and defensive. But with the right voice, it does pick up on them quite well. Yeah, we're going to keep it at natural, generate that, and see what we get.
Oh, that incident. I suppose someone ought to know what really happened that day, though I still maintain it wouldn't have happened if he'd just let me organize his beard properly.
Yeah, so I just love it for these different use cases. It's you can just do so many different things. And I'll just do quickly one more. I don't want to take up too much time, but this is I want to show you the difference of being able to switch emotions, because that's a really big request. Is like, I want to have a voice that's maybe somber and introspective for one portion of a sentence, but then I want it to flip switches based on, like, I want it to get more excited. And we can do that. So this is a baseline. Oh, I'm going to change this voice, actually. Go back to Jessica here. She's a great voice for this. And I want to show you first just what this one will sound like, and then I'm going to put something totally crazy over the top right after that.
I don't want to have to go through life thinking it's all so difficult. I want to, enjoy myself. Is that so hard? What do you think?
Pretty good. Now I'm going to totally switch gears, and I'm going to try to get her to sing. And again, not to upstage our a wonderful music model, which is going to sing much better than this. We're going to just throw this down to creative and see how this goes. See if it shifts gears pretty nicely.
I don't want to have to go through life thinking it's all so difficult. I want to, enjoy myself. Is that so hard? What do you think? And finally, I have to sing for you because I know it's someone's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear someone. Happy birthday to you.
She could use some voice lessons, but overall, I think pretty good. So you get a sense of like the dynamics there, which is really, really cool. I saw a question in chat. Yes, it works in all the languages it supports, which is the 70 plus. And I'm going to move it back over here. Just some, again, high-level tips and tricks. Some of them I went over, but choosing the right voice is really, really important. Or if you're creating your own voice, so keeping that in mind, you don't have to use too much material. I mean, you can use PVCs, which are not optimized yet, but if you're using an IVC and say wanting to record just 60 seconds, I would suggest recording something like 20 seconds of sort of neutral emotion, 20 seconds of laughing, crying, just really crazy, and then 20 seconds of something else, depending on what kind of output you want to get. I would suggest starting with objective tags first, like laughs or whispers. Sometimes, depending on the voice, if you use more subtle tags like sadness or reflective or things like that, or introspective, it can get missed. Our model is constantly being improved, and in fact, we actually just rolled out a new improvement this morning. And so you'll notice, if you've been playing around with it, that it will adhere to the tags much better today, which is great. If the tags aren't working, experiment with changing the word tense, like laugh versus laughs versus laughing, things like that. This is kind of a weird one, it might seem, but write it like you're a teenager texting someone. Like the text itself, just even not looking at the directional tags, writing in capital letters, like forgetting grammar, lots of ellipses, elongating the vowels and the consonants. Like these things actually help a lot. And then, like I mentioned, adding the pause tag at the end of the generation. If we have time at the end, we're happy to go over some more examples too, but I hope that was fun and interesting. And with that, I will pass it over to Juliet to talk more about the music model.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark. Tough act to follow. V3 is incredible, but we're so excited to have launched our music model only about a month ago now, and to enterprises only about 2 weeks ago. So this is very new on the market. With our music model, you're really able to create any song that you can imagine with just text alone. And we spent a year and a half rather, licensing music data for commercial use. So really, we've trained our model in partnership with the music industry, making you all able to, use your music in commercial contexts. So we support 30 plus different languages with our music model. You're able to generate vocals in multiple different languages, including in the same track. So you can actually change the language of a specific track that you might generate with Eleven Music. And you really can create any song to fit a genre, length, and mood. We spent a long time kind of working on the artistic capabilities of this music model. So the model responds well to things like BPM, tempo, key, specific notes even. So you can really get creative and musical with this model. In addition to that, we support studio grade audio. So you can generate audio that's of PCM quality. This is kind of due to the fact that we've spent time kind of working in partnership with artists and record labels. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a brief video showing you some of the capabilities of our music model.
Luna llena, no me mires así, que tu luz me recuerda lo que perdí. En el aire va mi pena volar y en mi pecho no me deja cantar.
But now your fire they burn like fever, fever, fever. Fever, 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 fever.
All the truth we push away,
All the truth we push away.
came up through the cracks with ambition in my pocket. Mama praying every night, but the devil trying to knock it. Street lights cast shadows where my dreams used to live. Counted blessings on the block, every dollar that I give. From Compton to the cosmos, vision started and I knife. Told myself I beat the O's when the story of my life. City's hard in my chest, feel the pulse in every curse. Pressure build, you know, my chest, but I let it wave that curse. Keep you up when the rain raining down.
Awesome. So that's just kind of a brief overview of the many genres that our music model covers. You could see in that video that we delineate the exact prompts that were used in order to produce the track that was shown in that video. So you can get really granular and generate songs that are instrumental only, vocals only, and you would do that by simply typing in natural language, instrumental only or vocal only. And now I'm going to show you a demo of exactly how you might use our music product. Awesome. So it is, it's Wednesday, and I was thinking that perhaps we can all unwind and relax by creating some sort of a meditation track. And so this will kind of show you the capabilities of the music model. You can incorporate kind of spoken word or spoken audio in addition to music with this music model. So let's start really simply and say, create a meditation track, maybe with soft synths and minimal electronic influence. And you're able to denote, how many variants, so how many versions of this prompt you want, as well as the length. So if you have a video that's a specific length, you can actually customize the duration. But for this, I'm just going to go with a minute. And here it's starting to generate. So as you can see here, this will show you kind of which styles that the model is including when it's generating the song and which styles it's excluding. And you're able to go in and actually edit these over time and add styles that you want to include, maybe remove styles that you didn't really think you wanted but appeared there. And what you'll see is the model just created 2 separate variants. So let's start to listen to the very first variant and see what we think of it.
Close your eyes and settle in. Inhale slowly. Feel the air fill your lungs. Exhale gently. Release tension. Let the sound carry you inward. Sense a gentle wave of calm. Drift deeper with each breath. Feel a subtle heartbeat in the sound. Stay present, anchored in the moment. Allow thoughts to float by. Carry this calm within you. When you're ready, softly open your eyes.
And you're able to add specific instruments. So if you want to add, violins, you're able to denote that in the prompt, and you'll kind of achieve the results, that you prompt the model with. You can also go ahead and edit the lyrics specifically. So I just want to show you how you might do that. This auto-generated lyrics that describes a meditation track. So let's try to edit these and see what we come up with. Let the sound carry you inward. Relax and enjoy the sounds of today. Let's just try this. And then what you would do is you'd go in and click generate. And the song would regenerate with the lyrics that you just described.
Close your eyes and settle in. Inhale slowly. Feel the air fill your lungs. Exhale gently. Release tension. Let the sound carry you inward. Relax and enjoy the sounds of today. Sense a gentle wave of calm. Drift deeper with each breath.
So you can really get granular and edit the songs that you create as if you are a music producer and you're speaking this and you're singing this and you're producing as you would if you had learned to. So now I just want to show you the ways that we can kind of get multilingual here. So you can actually make the track in any different language. Make this in French. Let's see what happens here.
Fermez-les-yeux et installez-vous. Inspirez lentement, sentez l'air remplir vos poumons.
So we might have to actually denote, the accents and all of that. But generally speaking, you're able to translate your tracks into 30 plus different languages if you just denote this properly. Cool. Great. Well, I think we're kind of coming up on time, but if we have more time later, then we can kind of take requests in the chat and prompt the music model more.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for that incredible overview. Before we dive into the Q&A, one question we do like to ask all of our AI innovators is, how do you see AI audio and video evolving in the future and impacting the future of work, businesses, and different workflows?
Is that for us or for the chat?
For you guys, yes.
Okay, cool. I think we should all give it a response here, because I think we all might have different takes based on our kind of focus areas. But first and foremost, love the chat. A lot of good questions coming up in there. We'll definitely spend some time in a minute responding to a variety of things. One of the things that I'm most excited about, having just had a pretty brutal travel experience coming back down from Boston Logan to New York and spending a ton of time on hold and trying to get in touch with different people, is the opportunity to just improve the customer experience massively by always being available via agents that can take actions on behalf of users. It's something that our business is super passionate about and spending a lot of time building towards. And I think about how that relates to the kind of customer experience and engagement opportunities that HeyGen is building with their avatars, and the way that those two things come together from an audio and an avatar side to create just incredible experiences for consumers in all of our lives and in the future lives, and how those things become engaging across all sorts of different platforms for when we're learning new tools or we're participating in meetings, learning and development, future education opportunities, stuff like that. So it's not just the consumer service side or support experience, but all the different ways that that's going to unlock future creative pursuits for folks. So super, super excited about that, and something that we're really happy to be partnering on with HeyGen as we continue to build together. Juliet, what about you?
Yeah, so super, super excited to be partnering with HeyGen. I think there's just so much around content creation that we haven't unlocked yet, but that will be unlocked as more people use these tools and get creative. We're in such early phases of all of this. I think personally, in thinking about where I see ElevenLabs and AI kind of playing, down the road, I'm just really excited about kind of audio as being like the primary way that we interact with technology. We're always kind of heads down looking at our phones and typing and requesting things, without kind of looking at the real world. And I think I'm really excited about the way that audio is able to transform the ways that we're kind of interacting with the world in a much more human way. So.
Cool. I'll go next. For me, as someone that's such a huge video game enthusiast and a video game buff, we've seen an uptick in requests of getting more dynamic voices, and there's nothing more dynamic than characters in video games. There's just such a wide breadth of emotions there, and with our new V3 model, you're able to do that. I mean, you can in one generation go from somber to crazy, yelling at the top of your lungs. And there's use cases for that in gaming. One of the cool things about the community is they often are so much more creative than we are and be able to find all these different use cases, and we see different ones come up all the time. But yeah, gaming is a huge one for me, and I'm excited to see how it evolves.
Amazing. Yeah, I know there's so many different use cases and workflows for AI audio and video, and so excited to see how everybody uses them in the future. Okay, so I think we can dive into our Q&A now. Matt and team, if you guys want to take a look at any of the questions, we can't answer
totally.
them, but we will get to as many as we can.
Yeah, for sure. So feel free to submit some more in there. It really helps if folks upvote the questions they would like to see responded to, because that will help to kind of like filter through everything coming in so we can see more specifically what you're interested in us speaking to. There were a couple, though, that I saw get repeated a bunch that I think are worth touching on. So first and foremost, HeyGen and ElevenLabs already have a super strong partnership. So if you're using HeyGen with avatars today, you do have access to use the V3 model, as well as a whole set of like other audio tools that we have available to you. So just know that. And if you also are kind of like a joint partner, you have an account with ElevenLabs where you've done some work, and HeyGen, you can actually bring your own kind of API key in that setup. So feel free to start testing with that stuff if you haven't today. We're super excited to see what you build. I think the second thing that I saw consistently brought up is languages and accents and dialects and stuff like that. V3 is amazing. We've always supported at least 32 different languages across our models, but with the V3, we've actually expanded that to over 70. I've been hard pressed to, frankly, come up with a language that we don't support to date. So hopefully that is super fulfilling for all your different use cases and needs, but we're also open to thoughts or feedback about that and what else would be helpful in your work. But we're really excited about all the different languages and use cases that we can support today. And then on the point about like dialects and accents and controllability and things like that, we have a ton of good resources on our site, and I know HeyGen has done a good job of surfacing this stuff as well to show you like how to best get the performance that you're looking for. One thing that's great to know about ElevenLabs is the different types of ways you can access or create voices. So there's some good materials on this within our interface, but we have our voice library, which has over 7,500 different voices today that, again, support all the languages that we use on a kind of per model basis. So you can find those and leverage those. And we have these great, what we call collections of different voices that can be used. And in the HeyGen platform, they've done an awesome job of curating ones that will allow you to access kind of the best voices from ElevenLabs, as well as clone. Right, so cloning or designing via text to voice are both things that the HeyGen platform supports via ElevenLabs, where you can actually just use like a prompt like you would within ChatGPT, but in describing a voice to create the type of voice you want to hear. It's super cool and just fun to play around with, and I think one to definitely check out. That's also leveraging our updated models. So again, full language support, super natural and hyper realistic, and very good. And then from a voice cloning perspective, it sounds exactly like what it is. There are different types. There's an instant clone and then a professional clone. The instant one is just a shorter amount of audio, and then professional clones allow you to create super high realistic actual models of that voice based on the amount of audio that you're submitting. There requires at least 30 minutes, so a little bit more development time, but then super high fidelity, super high quality, very strong in terms of its performance. And we see a lot of HeyGen customers use those for their avatars in our partnerships for the benefits of the quality and the performance across the board there. So wanted to cover off on those things since that was coming up a lot, and make sure that we hit on a couple of those main ones. Mark or Julia, anything you would add to that, or we can kind of check the Q&A here and see what else has been coming up a lot for folks.
I'll just quickly add from the V3 front, in addition to this expansive new list of languages that we support, it's also improved the pre-existing languages where we maybe saw some problems with Mandarin or Japanese, and so you're going to get voices that are now in the V3 model, or design voices now, because our voice design is now uses the V3 model as well, that just sound much more fluent in these respective languages. So in addition to these extra languages, it should sound better in the pre-existing languages. And the last thing too is if you've cloned your voice, I think this is an interesting point about V3 that doesn't get talked about that much. If you've cloned your voice say in Italian, and then you wanted to use it for English text. Oftentimes what the model will do is it will kind of default to an American or British accent, but V3 actually retain, and some people want that, but then some people want to retain their original accent. And so if you use that Italian voice now in V3, it's actually going to retain that accent in different languages, which is, I think, a really, really cool thing.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. And just looking through some of the Q&A here. Yeah, so a couple other things that I'm seeing here is kind of around the like consistency of performance for voice, and being and like tips and tricks about how to improve that. So a couple things, and Mark is the expert here, so I'll probably defer to him on some things that I miss. But there are a couple really key ones that I think are worth calling out. We've actually got some really good tools to help with this too. So one is the model is super good at picking up on the data that you're putting into it, right? So if you have like a leaf blower going in the background and you're sort of like inputting the audio through your AirPods as opposed to this great like mic setup that Mark has, then like the output audio is not likely to be as good because the input audio is kind of messy in terms of its quality and clarity and performance. And so we provide a voice isolation tool that's great for taking audio that you have, whether that's from a whole variety of different resources, and helping to kind of clean up and enhance it in a way that once it's being created, it's cleaner and better for the model, and then ultimately we'll have better output when it comes to some of those things. There's also some great tools and tips and tricks that we've written about, and there's certainly some stuff online around ways that you can enhance the audio, but I would say broadly, there are some great best practices around like being in a quiet environment, not having echo in the background, using a good mic setup, cleaning up your audio, having the audio be in the kind of format and tone and use cases that you would be using it for. So if like you're looking for a support type, voice, and then you try to use it in like a broadcast or a narrative sense, it's probably not going to work super well in both scenarios, but you can help to prompt that differently now with V3. So there's more flexibility there. Just some good kind of tips and tricks. And we can certainly share out some more information on all those details as a follow-up. So hopefully that's helpful. Mark, anything you would add to that in terms of like tips, tricks, best practices for folks to be aware of when thinking about voice creation and how to then that leads to getting the best output?
You pretty much nailed it. I mean, the high level is just input equals output. So however you want the end use case or end voice to sound, try to match that as closely as possible if you are recording. So what that means, often like for conversational, if you want it to sound really, really natural and authentic, oftentimes it's best to not read a script. If you're creating an IVC, just do something off the cuff, like nonchalant, just talking kind of like I am right now. About your day or what have you, and that seems to just translate much more naturally into the end result. So that'd be one thing I would, maybe a mixture also of scripted versus unscripted if you're looking for like a professional voice clone where you need a little bit more data.
Yeah, awesome. And then I did see a couple questions as it relates to music. It looks like one of them is, what are you seeing as some of the more popular music use cases today? Juliet, would love to have you speak to that, and maybe some of the things that you're excited about for music in particular for folks to think about in either their own personal lives or their businesses moving forward.
Absolutely. I think there are a few different platforms in the market that do a really, really great job of creating kind of jingles and birthday songs and kind of fun, kitschy songs. But given the high quality of our music model, we're really seeing a lot of like pre-professional, professional use cases so far. So artists coming in and really creating like a background track to another track that they're already producing in typical DAW, like Logic or Ableton, for example. You're able to get quite granular, as I mentioned, in prompting the model. So you can say instrumental only, I only want a saxophone here. And at 10 seconds, I want the violin to come in. And then at 30 seconds, I want it to crescendo, which is also really great for kind of merging your track with your video as well. So seeing a lot of professional use cases, both on the music creation side as well as the video creation side.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Emily, I'm not sure, is that, like, timing wise, is this a good place to wrap from your perspective? What do you think is best at this
Yeah,
point?
this is good. So yeah, I think we're just about at time. So thank you guys so much for this incredible session and answering some of our community's questions. We are so excited to see all of the amazing innovations ElevenLabs comes out with next.
Thanks everybody for